Today, we're going to talk about the infinite wealth trader. So, before we can talk about an infinite wealth trader, we need to talk about what is infinite wealth. Now, many of you have heard me talk about infinite wealth on multiple occasions on Trader Tip Tuesday and other lives that I've done. And many of you have also taken our Building the Dream workshop, in which we go in depth into the concept of infinite wealth. But for those of you who have yet to see this concept, I want to go over what it is. The definition of infinite wealth is when your monthly passive income is greater than your monthly expenses. It's when your monthly passive income is greater than your monthly expenses. Now, why is this important? This is important because passive income is money that is coming in essentially without you working. So if you have money coming in every month, you have more money coming in than what your expenses are, then you don't have to work. And when you don't have to work, you become infinitely wealthy. Now, I want you to think about this for a moment, because society teaches us that wealth is all about money and that we use this money really for status. So wealth is about having $1 million, having $10 million, having $100 million, having $1 billion, having 10 billion. It's relative to every person. Some people, $1 million, they can't even imagine that. Most of the world, honestly, cannot imagine $1 million. There's other people that $1 million is a rounding error. And it's not even worth their time. Think about that. Think about how polar extreme that is. There are people that we could go offer them $1 million to come give a speech. I'd say, no, it's not worth it for me. There are lots of people like that. So, but wealth is always attached to a certain amount of money and then what that money can buy. I have a mansion. I have a big house. I drive a Ferrari. I drive a Lamborghini. I have a yacht. I have a private jet. I wear a Rolex. My wife wears Louis Vuitton shoes or Chanel or whatever the case may be. Status. Wealth equals status. See, that's a worldly view. And in my opinion, there's nothing wrong with wanting those things. But in my opinion, it's flawed. The great thing about money is that money gives you freedom. What's so interesting is when I talk about this concept of infinite wealth, to most people, it goes right over their head. You would think like, hey, wouldn't it be exciting if you never had to work again? Wouldn't that be amazing? And people are like, I just want to pay my bills. And it goes right over their head. They're like, well, that's what I do when I'm 60, or that's what I do when I'm 70. No, what if you could do that in 18 months? What if you could do that in 3 years? What if you were 30 and by the time you were 33, you never had to work again? Well, people are like, well, I don't know what I do. You'd go do what you wanted. It would radically change your life, because everything you did, you would do because you wanted to, not because you had to. You want to be on vacation, go on vacation. The reality is that for most of you, if you want to live a great life, you're not going to shut down and just sit in your house. It's going to drive you crazy. We gain value through our work. We gain status through our work. But it is far different working because you want to versus because you have to. Working when you want to puts work as something that makes you better, that builds your character, that builds your strength, that helps you express your life purpose and your life mission. So this is big. So let's talk about what is passive income. Passive income is anything that you spend 10 hours a month on or less that generates consistent income. So think about it. If you could make $10,000 a month in 10 hours or less, or you could make $100,000 a month in 10 hours or less, or you could make $1 million a month in 10 hours or less. I mean, that would be passive income. You wouldn't need a full-time job. I mean, 10 hours is like really, really part-time a month. So that's our definition. That is one of the definitions of passive income. So let's take this now into trading. What's so interesting is that people come to trading because they want freedom, but really all they do is just buy themselves another job. So what is an infinite wealth trader? An infinite wealth trader is a trader who spends 10 hours a month or less trading, spends 10 hours or less on his trading strategies. See, most people, as I said, they leave their job and they come to trading, and then they're a slave to the screen. They can't get up and walk away because they got to watch charts all day, and they're going to miss the trade they've been looking for. One of the big concepts that we teach is that the more you look at the screen, the worse you will do as a trader. Let me say that again. The more that you stare at charts, the worse you will do as a trader. I've done whole Trader Tip Tuesdays on this. But the concept is that we have this idea that if we are working, we need to do something. And trading is far different, because when we stare at a screen, there's very few people in the world that can stare at a screen for 8 hours straight and not make a trade, unless they're just scared to death. That could be the answer. But most people, the more they stare at the screen, they're more like, well, if I don't make a trade today, I've just wasted my whole day. Like, I'm here to make money and I haven't made a trade yet. So if I want to make money, I need to trade. And then they make a crappy trade. The more you stare at your charts, the worse you will trade. This is key, because one of the things that I am introducing to my students is this concept of being an infinite wealth trader. So let's talk about what would it look like? What would it take to have a trading strategy that qualifies to be an infinite wealth trader? Well, we'd have to spend 10 hours or less per month on the strategy, which means we'd have to have a minimal time in front of the screen. Preferably, we would trade at a predetermined time window, like near the close. Second thing is that we would use options to eliminate the need for stops. See, people stare at the chart all day long, somehow thinking that by staring at the chart, they can make their trades do better. So they're watching for their exits, they're watching for their stops, they're watching to sell high when they're long. And in general, they overmanage their trades and they just make them worse. So why do all this? Let's find a way to make it simple. The great thing is that we can use options to never need a stop. We can use options to set up the trade where it's just incredibly easy to manage. The third thing is our strategy needs to be simple. If the strategy is too complex, we're going to spend a lot of time on it. So there's simplicity in executing the strategy, and there's simplicity in finding the trades or finding the trade candidates. If we can do these things, we can build a strategy that qualifies for us to be an infinite wealth trader. Now, we teach the Matrix Money Machine. In the Matrix Money Machine system, I want to talk to you about the characteristics that we build into the system. Because trading the Matrix Money Machine system will qualify you to be an infinite wealth trader. So when you trade the Matrix Money Machine system, this can be traded while you have a job. This can be traded as part of an infinite wealth plan. You can literally set an alarm and come to the screen at a predetermined time interval and be able to do it in less than 30 minutes per day. When you trade this system, you'll always be invested in the top products in the world if you're long, or the worst products in the world if you're short. But you'll have the best stuff on, which is great. You'll be able to trade it in less than 30 minutes a day. You'll trade it before the close. So if you're trading stocks, I'm in the central time zone, I can set my alarm to 2:30 p.m. Central. And from 2:30 to 3 p.m. into the stock market close, I can do my work, make my trades, and have everything adjusted for today and set up for tomorrow in those 30 minutes. And I do not need to be in the front of the screen at all any other time. So I just set my alarm, come to the screen, and I get out. The system avoids large losses. Many of you out there know the concept of 1R. That is our initial risk per trade. All losses in this system are contained to 1R or less. 1R or less. This system has no stops. It does not have tedious position management rules. It has very simple rules, no stop, and a very simple way of determining when you take your profits and when the trade is over. The system will benefit from market volatility, and it will have you in the biggest moves in the market. So think about what we're doing. All losses are 1R or less, and we get big winners. So you can see how all of this is coming together to create a system that qualifies you to be an infinite wealth trader. So what does that mean for you? What does it mean to be an infinite wealth trader? Well, this means that you can trade while you have your job, or you can trade as part of your infinite wealth plan. This means that you can go to all your kids' games. You can be at your kids' events. You can be at your kids' shows. This means that you can conduct business around this time window, knowing that at 2:30, you're going to be in front of the screen. This means that you have more time to spend with your wife. This means that you have more, you're going to be able to compound your capital in a way that you've never been able to compound it before. This means that you're going to have time to take care of yourself. You're going to have time to work out. You're going to have time to meditate. You have time for hobbies. You're going to have time to be able to connect with God, to be able to pray, to be able to journal. This has the ability to radically change your life. And the great thing is that if you want to learn to trade at a much deeper level, if you want to go from an infinite wealth trader to a professional trader, somebody who trades all the time, well, guess what? Everything that you learn in the Matrix Money Machine will carry over to becoming a professional trader. It will carry over to be able to use more complex option strategies. It will be the backbone of everything else you do. This has amazing potential for you. Do you see this? This is a lot more about than making money. This is something that can help you get you the life that you wanted. So this workshop is coming up soon. It's coming up in November. There'll be emails going out. There'll be a webinar coming out. Some of you might be getting a phone call from me asking to help me give me some input in how we structure this. But this is all coming very soon. So make sure you stay tuned for the emails, the upcoming webinar, and the dates for this upcoming Matrix Money Machine Masterclass. I'm very excited about this class. If you've taken the Matrix Money Machine in the past, this is a new version. This is simpler. This is more robust. And this is something that we are going to walk with you to make sure that you know how to do it. You will trade in this masterclass. No exceptions. You cannot be in this class and not trade. You cannot do simulation. You cannot do paper trading. You will have to trade in this class. And you're going to have to trade with us. You're going to have to show us that you actually do what you say you're going to do. No more theory. No more. You can't trade options on a simulator. It just doesn't work. They're broken. Okay. And there's going to be these little things that come up that you're going to need answered. So you need to trade them with us so that we can help you make sure you get through that. I'm very excited about this class. So pay attention on that, and I will see you next Tuesday. In the meantime, I'll continue to keep coming to you with topics like today to spur thought and help you take your performance to an elite level. You have an amazing week. See you next Tuesday.